This program features live coverage of an African safari and may include animal kills and carcasses. Viewer discretion is advised.
Good afternoon, everyone. Sitting quite a distance from us over there is a brand new cub to the Juma clan. This is Heart's little one, looking like it's sitting, sunbathing, getting some vitamin D. It's time, everyone, for your live safari through the African bush. Isn't this just so incredible, everyone? There's another hyena cub that we did not know about before, and this is cub number 4, who sits in between Ribbons 2 and Corky's 1. I'm going to guess pushing 3 months, somewhere in between 2 to 3 months here, that this Heart's little one sits. My name is Lauren. I have Theo on camera, and I just want to explain something quickly. Now, where I'm sitting, this is the road that takes us to the 2 dens. So if you look in front of the car, you'll see a split. Now, I have to drive past den number 2 in order to get to the actual communal den, which is den number 3. Den number 1 is behind us, and none of the hyenas have used that this year. So we're not allowed to stay at this den. We're going to give you one little last look at Heart's cub, but I can't stay here because there's no adult. But the reason we're showing it, we're at quite a distance and I have to drive past this den anyway. But I can't stay there, I can't get any closer, and I can't and don't want to spend time without an adult. So I just wanted to explain that to you. We're going to take a little bumble to den number 3 and let this little one continue on the sunbathing. So I imagine it's going to be a really exciting afternoon, and we look forward to hearing from you.
Hello and welcome to a very hot and sunny afternoon at Anbiongala, where we have come across some kudus. Nice little herd of them just feeding along the banks of the Tsimbavati River. My name is Marna, and behind the camera we have Gert. And what a beautiful scene. So when we just arrived, these kudus were actually drinking at a puddle in the riverbed just behind us. And there were some baboons with them, but they all moved off. And now the kudus have moved onto the banks, and you can see they're all busy browsing up there on some of those shrubs. Really nice to see kudus out in the open like this, because normally they tend to stick to the thickets. Oh, you can see how quickly the lips of that kudu bull's moving as he's plucking the leaves off that shrub. You can also see, if you look at the horns, his horns are covered in mud, and that's from when they were drinking back at the puddle. Love the coloration on these creatures. Incredible spiraled horns. I really love them as well, I must agree. Only the one bull in this herd, and then I think we can see almost 3, 4, 5 cows with him. I think we're going to continue along, and we're going to see if we can find any signs of lions this afternoon.
Jambo, jambo, a very good afternoon this afternoon, and welcome back to the Masai Mara. My name is Isaac, and on camera I have Big James. Already we are set out here at the marsh to show you what is around. Already I have big herd of buffalo, elephants, cattle, egrets, and not only them, but the landscape, the greenery is just amazing. Talk to us on #WildEarth. Questions and comments are very welcome. This afternoon, it's just perfect once again. We had a thunderstorm, and so it has cooled down everything. To start with, I have the Cape Buffalo, and it's another very big breeding herd. Looks like they're just going through the marsh because they are not feeding much. They're just going through. That's a very small calf over there, maybe a day old. These animals give birth, and the calf has to be on their feet almost in half an hour. Survival is very essential, and so they have to be up and walking as fast and as quickly as possible. It increases the chances of them survival. Look at that tiny little elephant also. Karen, good afternoon this afternoon. I don't know what time it is there, but it is afternoon here. You ask if the buffaloes migrate. No, they don't. Once the wildebeest leave, they have all the grass they need, so they don't need to migrate. And also, their numbers haven't exploded like the wildebeest to force them to move for greener pastures every day. Lots of little, buffaloes here. Look at that one. He's got funny little horns. Can you imagine one day they'll be carved and looking very dangerous? Yeah, accompanied by their normal cattle egrets. Yeah, lots and lots of young ones. Look at that. It is amazing, but every day at this time of day from 4 o'clock onwards, animals leave the marsh and they go towards the hills, the open grounds. For some reason, I think it is cooler, and also maybe we are not there, so they enjoy it without anybody. But come morning, everybody heads down to the marsh. These guys looks like they are listening at me. Yeah, those are 3 different kind of horns, and all of them are, no, it's 2 are females and 1 is a male. The one extreme left is a male, and then the 2 are females. Yeah, this is part of the big herd we've just been looking. It is quite a big one. It's almost like 300, but they're very spread out. Here at the marsh, they love it because there is water, the grass is soft, and also I think being company of other animals, so they can easily detect danger. So they love it here at the marsh. I also love this area because you don't have to look very much for these huge animals. They're everywhere. Yeah, that's the beautiful Diospyros abyssinica forest back there, or the giant forest mahogany. And it's a place where you could find the rare black rhino. Yes, and back there on the background is Olololosyria escarpment. Yes, this female looks like she's listening to me talk. I'm gonna try and be quiet so that she can go back to her business.
Jambo Jambo and good afternoon. Welcome to the African Savannah. We are live here in the Masai Mara, and my name is Kenneth and my colleague is Aji. So welcome on board. Look forward to enjoying this afternoon game drive in the Masai Mara. All right, so on our side here we've got Alright, so here we have a little baby elephant trying to cool himself. Not really sure whether it's he or she, but what we see now is enjoying like a mud bath, and the weather really is really hot at the moment. Hopefully in some few hours it's gonna be a little bit cooler, but looking at what's happening, we've got some few joining him. Look at that little baby. Lovely walk. Who doesn't love the mud? And this like the Masai Mara swimming pool here for these guys, yeah. All right, so also you look at the baby, fell down into the mud. Woo. The other one is joining in. What a lovely birth. So these guys do the mud wallowing just to cool themselves off, and sometimes to suffocate the ticks. Then later on they go to a certain tree somewhere, then they can rub themselves, clear those suffocated ticks. Look at the baby. Can't really see him now, but he's inside the mud bath pool. When you stretch to your left hand side, you can see the moms. Their moms are feeding quietly. And I am thinking, I'm seated here thinking that anytime soon they might also join the babies, because they don't really want to let the babies go on their own far away. The elephants are very protective. Lovely weather here. The grass seems really nutritious and nice. All right, so we will leave these youngsters to enjoy their mud bath, because our initial plan is to go and look for the cats this evening. Now the weather is, at any time soon, it's going to be a little bit cooler. So we'll keep looking for the cats. Remember also to tweet us through hashtag Safari Wild Safari, and keep posting your questions and comments.
Talking of mud wallowing and enjoying some spa time, we have a hyena in Treehouse Dam. It's hot today here in Djuma. Of course, it's spring now, which means everything is changing. Rain is going to come, but the temperatures are getting warmer. It's 24 degrees Celsius here and 75 degrees Fahrenheit. And this hyena has decided to plonk its bottom in Treehouse Dam and, well, enjoy the lovely feeling of the water around its bottom. Now, I haven't figured out who it is yet. Is it Corky? It's difficult from a distance. Corky's got that famous sort of top tip of her left ear missing, but there's been more damage to Corky's right ear. I can't actually see. If any of you hyena experts out there have got better eyes than I have, please do let us know. Hashtag Wild Earth. Which hyena is this? And of course they change. The more battles that they have, the more sort of, as they get older, they just get more and more injured. And the ears are a giveaway, or one of the giveaway of an age of a hyena. If you look at the likes of Ntima, who's just 3.5 now, her ears are perfect. Her mother's the matriarch. She probably hasn't had to engage in many battles. And then you look at old Corks, she's definitely worse for wear. Those cartilage in the ear is very, very damaged by now. But it's a good way for us to identify them. As terrible as that sounds, hyenas can be notoriously difficult to identify. But if they have got a few notches missing out their ears, it makes it easier for us. How relaxing does this look? There's a nice breeze coming through, and of course it's going to get a lot hotter as we move into summer. The thunderstorms will come, rain will come, the ground will be nourished with water, flowers will start to appear, grass will shoot, and the butterflies will come. So I have to say, I'm very, very excited for summer.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome up the road onto Djuma as well. Around the corner on top of the hill, where we've got a lovely herd of wildebeest just taking it showing you that it is a bit warmer today than it has been the last couple of days. And hello everybody, my name is Steve, joined by BK on camera, and as always very excited to have you with us on board. What a wonderful afternoon it is. The sun is shining and we are going to be looking for some signs of spring. Now, one of the things that's going to be happening is that the wildebeest are going to be selectively grazing, which they always do, but concentrate feeders is what they are. And all the little green shoots are popping out of the grass clumps at the moment are what the wildebeest are going to be looking for. So now that there's been some rain, they're going to be pushing themselves out into areas they haven't been feeding in to try and maximize the vegetation that has been opened up by buffalo a little while ago. Buffalo as well as zebra. There's been a few zebra on the property, but the buffalo really did chop the grass down, and so now the wildebeest are going to come look for the very green shoots that have been facilitated for them.
Jumbo Jumbo and hello. The wildebeest and the elands will eat differently because the wildebeest tend to be grazers, while we got animals here which are more of browsers than grazers. And I'm talking of the largest antelopes that we got in Africa, called the elands. A very good afternoon, everybody. My name is David, and with me on camera is Bungay. Bungay almost sneezed, but I told him, bless you, which sometimes we say, Jesus. Now, I'm looking at those elands, and to me, they all look like males. And unlike the wildebeest with Steve, which were lying in the shade, these elands are out in the sun. And as much as it's a very warm afternoon in the Mara, the elands got one very special organ in their bodies. If you look at them carefully, look under their necks, they have a huge muscle that we call dewlap. Hopefully you shall see one that we turn around. And we believe, just look at that one there. Look at that huge muscle hanging down there. And we think they use them to thermoregulate the temperatures, and they are able to keep their body temperature low when it's very hot, and they will dissipate or lose lots of heat through that particular dewlap under their necks. I'm saying they could possibly be males because of their size. And in general, males are grayish dark in color, or the female a little bit brownish in color and a little smaller than these bulls that we're seeing here. My thinking is they're picking small little plants as they're moving there because they do more browsing than grazing. And maybe because of the heat of the day, there could be a few flies here and there, and that keeps their tails very busy. Could be an anteater chat bird right there. And thank you, you all our elands, because the pretty special antelopes, they say they're the largest antelopes you got here in Africa, and they're quite massive. If the migration will go, like the wildebeest, Steve, you see the wildebeest we have in the Mara now, during the migration, we have loads and loads of them. Once they're back in Serengeti, in Tanzania, then the predators will be left with this difficult prey to deal with. And remember, as my colleagues have told you, we are live, and should you have any questions or comments, please send them through. You can tweet #WorldEarth.
Jumbo, welcome back. And look what I found. Look what we found over here. Some lions. That looks like a female, and then there's a few more scattered around this area. I didn't, they were here. I was just driving, and then all of a sudden there was one very close to the road. There is that one that's quite far away, and then this guy here who has decided to hide. He's camera shy. He was actually lying there, but he decided to hide. This is the Marsh Pride. and we had seen them about 10 days ago eating a buffalo not from far from here, and since then we haven't seen them, and looks like they are in need of a meal also, very much like the Owinos I saw this morning. In case you didn't join me this morning, we saw the Owino girls hunting this morning. They were really looking desperate. These guys look also like they will be wanting a meal. So I'm gonna stick around and see if they're going to wake up when it cools down. Of course, it's cooling down. There are 2 females and 2 males scattered, within an area of about 100 square meters. Remember, this is what lions do best during the day. In the heat of the day, they sleep quite a lot, up to around 18 hours. And they work very hard to earn this kind of rest. They do work very hard. They use strength, focus, lots of energy. So when they sleep like this, I don't blame them. But once they wake up and they're already on the move, they get really, really serious. Mind you, even at sleep like this, they can go from that state to, running at 60 kilometers in less than 10 seconds. So, it's an animal that you don't want to go and, Ashley, did you say, do the lions stay with the food? Was that the question? I don't know. Oh, Ashley, you ask what's lion's favorite food to eat? Different prides and different lions from different areas differ. Mostly, they prefer what they grew up eating, but anything else is on the menu. If they grew up eating warthog, of course it means they have lots of warthogs within their area. They become masters and they love warthogs. But if it is buffalo, like I've seen lions do in the Okavango in Botswana, in parts of Serengeti and in Tarangire in Tanzania, they love buffalo, then they grow up eating buffalo. If it's zebra wildebeest, they grow up eating that. So it differs from one pride to the other, but they eat meat and anything moving, and it's wild out here. It's on the menu for them. They eat anything. It is a predator, and anything that walks and roams these plains can be eaten by it. Yeah, that is sleeping in style. They're zonked out. No care in the world. I'm sure right now maybe she doesn't, the only thing that she's using is the ears. Otherwise everything else is shut. She's just fast asleep. Yeah, I'm not going anywhere. I'm waiting for these girls and boys to wake up and maybe gather the courage to go for the buffalo we had seen.
It was hard, everyone. Thank you, Yumi. It was hard. I do not know why I have done this twice today. I think I need to wear my glasses. We followed her. She left Treehouse Dam, and I knew exactly where she was going. And she's got an interesting technique, shall we say, going on here. Hart, I think you should maybe lie down. The cub is clinging on for dear life, but it doesn't look entirely comfortable for either party here. But everyone, this is Philemon's Dip Den 2, my favourite of all dens. Don't really know why. This is Hart, who I believe is third in the hierarchy. And this is her cub that no one has spotted before. I got so many calls today. Are you sure this is a different cub? And yes, it is. We saw all 4 this morning, and many of you are laughing at this technique. Yes. The cub doesn't care. It's hungry, but it doesn't look comfortable. And I can imagine it's a little bit painful for Hart, shall we say. The first cub that we know of from Hart. Ouchie. So this cub is still not at the natal den. Very, very much at a separate den here. Heart, my dear. Lie down. She also looks a bit perplexed. What is going on? I don't know. What is going on? Oh, 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 oh. I think she just sat on the little one's head there, but there you go. That'd be much more comfortable. I wonder if we can roll Theo without turning our engine on. Oh, okay, no, I think we rolled like a centimetre there. That didn't really work. But we're just going to enjoy the view from here for now. I wish I had a better guesstimate of the age of this little one. The head's gone quite light, but the body's actually still very much that sort of black bear appearance. I'd say pushing 3 months. Heart, you've done well, my girl. Okay, I'm going to try and see if we can just roll forward without turning the engine on for a better view.
How special to see hyena cub suckling, and I would imagine looking at the babies of these giraffes, babies suckling, it will be definitely be a different ball game altogether, because the hyenas, I'm sure the mother where Lauren is, she is lying down as the cub sucks or suckles, but here for a giraffe baby to suckle, she must be standing up, and I'm trying to visualize those two images, and they could be very different. I've been seeing a couple of giraffes, the last few weeks, but this is the first time I also go like you and say, wow, 10 strong group of giraffes together. It's like, they look like plastic, when you look at them from a distance, or like not frozen, because you can see they are, flicking the tails once in a while. But it's pretty special sight to see 10 giraffes close together. And this morning I had a viewer who was asking me what you call a group of Thomson gazelles. I'm imagining maybe someone would ask me the same question. And this collective noun we have liked to use, that we would say tower of giraffes. And I think it was coined basically because of the height. See how tall they are, just like towers. And I think truly that fits them. Now there's one of them in the background there. If you look at it, she seems to have concentrated in one particular area and not exactly sure what she is looking at. I'll want to go and investigate what it could be.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's a nice warm afternoon here at Tswalu Kalahari, and we have got some epic news. So we're going to put the female on screen just now, and I'll show you what we are very excited about. She's actually moving now. So we're quickly going to get her on the screen. There's a female cheetah, but what's more exciting about this is not just a female cheetah. This is a mom. She's got tiny cubs, guys. We haven't seen the cubs yet. She's got only suckle marks at the moment. One of our other guides, Mark Winkler, actually found them this morning, and they say it's about 3 weeks old, which is epic. So this is the perfect spot for the mom to have like a little den site type of thing. Not that cheetahs really do den sites, but when they're this small, she is going to want to hide them in thick stuff like this, just to get them for, to the point where they're going to grow up a little bit. And so as soon as they then grow up a little bit, maybe at around 5-6 weeks, and they're a little bit more mobile, that's when the cubs will actually start operating with the mother. Then she'll only leave them in a spot to quickly go and hunt, and when she then caught something, she will go and collect the cubs again. But it's only during this initial stages of a cheetah's life where it'll actually spend some time in almost like a den site. Lions and leopards are more prone to making dens and keeping the cubs in a certain spot for a while. The cheetahs are not so much like that.
Wow, what a great moment for that cheetah with 3 young cubs, and it's really lovely. But here in the Mara, look at that nice, really cool cloud with the beautiful sun rays falling on the Olololo escarpment, and that is the western boundary of the Great Rift Valley on this side of the Masai Mara. And look at how beautiful it is. Lovely sun falling on that tree line. And here, coming closer, we've got some nice, good harem of impalas. Very relaxed. Some are lying down, others are busy feeding, but they've got just that one protection, majorly that big male. Lovely, lovely scenery, yeah? And the green, we are on the marshy area now, and it's really lovely. So some of them are grooming. Look at that, mom. There are some little young ones there. Wow, look at that. And the boy is just going around, the male going around to check whether whether the family is safe. But also, I guess this guy has got a lot of work to do, and simply we've got the security part of it, and we've got the mating to the females who are on estrus. But here I can see the. All right. So we let them enjoy their time, and as we keep to our pace, going to look for the cats at this time of the hour.
All right, guys, so we've just had visual on this mom with the cubs. We're just trying to come around quickly to see where she's moving them. She was walking sort of in this direction, and David said he actually saw one of the cubs following her. So we just want to see where they are. Obviously, we don't want to disturb them too much. Just want to switch off quickly and see if we can see something. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but you can actually hear the cubs calling. That whistling sound is the cubs contact calling for the mom. Sorry guys, we were sure of it that she's going to pop out on this side. So, but I mean she's around here somewhere. Just yeah, that's the cutest little sound to hear them calling like that. And it's typical of the cheetahs to have that contact call. Even when they're adults, or when they've reached adult stage, you will still hear them using that contact call to communicate with one another, like coalitions of males and so on. You'll hear them calling one another like that. But yeah, sorry guys, if we don't see them just yet, we will reposition again and then get them on screen. My heart rate just jumped out of my throat when we got the first visual. So we're just looking to try and locate where she's gone and laid down now, so that we can get a good visual for you guys. Yeah, guys, I'm happy that you're as excited as I am. I don't know if I'm going to be able to contain myself once we get them on screen and we get a good open visual. So you'll have to excuse me if there's something like a little bit of a shake in the voice or so, but this is the most exciting news that we've had in a very long time. I think the last time we had babies this cute was when the shell ducks was hatching. So this is so exciting. But yeah, I think what we'll do is we'll keep looking. Obviously, we don't want to, drive into these bushes and so Duelist had a question, what is this female cheetah's name? And unfortunately, this one is not named yet. So there's quite a few cheetahs in the reserve that we have which is not named. There's some of them that we don't even know about. I mean, this female cheetah, the guys only picked up on about maybe 3 days ago, where they actively identified her as a relaxed female, and also one that we can follow when they found the suckle marks. So it took them about 3 days. It wasn't. So yeah, to answer your question, we haven't named her yet, but just judging by how relaxed she was when we found her now in the beginning, this is definitely a female that needs a name, and that would be a great one to follow in the future, especially with these cubs now growing up.
Welcome back to And Beyond Gala. I really hope they get to see those cheetah cubs eventually. We have found a lazy group of lions. They're all sleeping, some of them in the sun, some of them in the shade, and we are currently looking at one of the younger males. Now, for those of you that have tuned into the show before, this is the Birmingham Pride, and this is the young male that's been hanging around. I haven't seen him in about 5-6 months, so it's quite interesting to see how many scars and wounds he's gotten in this time. Quite strange that they're not moving into the shade. Like I said, it is quite a hot day. It really is an incredible pride. And not only because it's such a big pride, but also because they have these 2 white lions in the pride. And we're going to see if we can get a view of them a little bit later. We have spotted the 2 white ones. They're just lying off to the side. So we'll stay with them for a bit, loop around, see if we can get you a better view of the rest of the pride, and we'll be back later.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Tumi from And Beyond Pina Private Game Reserve. Right behind the camera, you have Craig, and here we got a lot of giraffe and a lot of zebras. As you guys can see, a beautiful sunlight. Look, everyone having a very good time here. As you can see, the giraffe actually they're coming this direction and they change completely. They're heading back. It's quite interesting to see all the zebras that does exactly the same thing, because the reason why they does that is because they rely more of a giraffe over their eyesight. Because it's very windy today, they find it very difficult sometimes to pick up if there's anything that's coming around to them. And they try and make sure they follow them, and they're trying to make sure that if the giraffes start running, they also start picking up a speed as well to follow them, because they know they're much better view from what they can see. Yeah, as you can see, the zebra looking now. There's one of the other herd following from behind. They also looks like they're also changing direction, because these will be like a different family of zebras, but looks like they might be coming from where they're heading, some water watering holes just joined up, all moving together. Yeah, look how many giraffe we got there. We got 2. 8 giraffe. This is a good number. These are all cow. Could be like young one, it must be a little boy, but what I can see, it look more like females and some youngsters together. Wow, look at that one, just chewing up, looking at us. It's amazing to see. They're just picking up on top of the trees.
Now, I have seen 3 species of different animals now. I started with the elands, then I came to the giraffes, and now I got the buffaloes. These 3 species mean a lot to me, because you remember my story with the migration going, the predators will be left hunting the big game. Now, this is the 3rd one, plus the giraffes, and plus these buffaloes you see here. Because giraffes and elands, I would say, and buffaloes basically do not migrate. They tend to migrate within the same area and not covering long distances. So the lions will be left dealing now with this game. A closer look to these buffaloes, you notice they are not eating at all. It's because of the heat of the day. Unlike the elands that we saw earlier, busy eating and, flicking their tails because of the dewlap that I told you helps them to thermoregulate. Buffaloes, the heat of the day slows them down. But above all, there's another important difference between the two. The buffaloes are ruminants, and what they have eaten better part of the day, they'd rest, stop, and they're just regurgitating it and chewing the cud. There's been always a debate between ruminants. Barry, you got a good question. How many babies can a mother buffalo have? Well, I'm looking at about 11 months or so, the gestation period here. And personally, I have never seen twins from a buffalo. I've always seen one calf at a given time. Now, we've got people who say they have seen buffaloes, the cows, having twins. I have never seen twins, but there have been stories, even elephants will have, twins. But I would say for me, each cow will have one baby at a given time. I was saying earlier, we have had this debate, which animals have more advantage over the other. Is it the ruminants or the non-ruminants? I mean, the buffaloes are able to regurgitate what they eat or all other ruminants, whereas animals, I would say like elephants and zebras, once they eat and they're done with it. And I have always thought, during the dry times when the conditions are tough and there's a concern of vegetation or the herbivores are suffering, personally I think the ruminants like the buffaloes would do better than the non-ruminants. If you look at them carefully, you'll see some of them got some birds on their bodies, and most of the birds that they have, I would guess they are ox pickers. Well, buffaloes, continue enjoying your rest, and maybe we'll see you later as I move on looking for something else.
Well, welcome back to my little piece of heaven here in the Mara. And this is live, it's happening now. I have these elephants, and they're moving towards the lion, and I'm waiting to see the reaction. I don't know what's going to happen. The lion is still fast asleep. I don't know if you can see it. It's sleeping. Look at this, guys. Just wait for it. Wait for it. The lion is sleeping. What's going to happen? Hey! What are you doing? Get out. Yes, who's the boss? Yeah, that was a bit of... yeah, that was a bit of scare for the lion because it never had them coming. They are so quiet, elephants. It only noticed them when they was just there. And actually, he's glad there wasn't any teenager. Usually teenagers can be a little bit cheeky. They try to show off he could have been chased. He's a bit shocked about that, and he's taking a breather now. And the elephants are taking, having a small gathering to reassure one another, and they're talking right now. Remember, they have they can speak with very low frequencies that we cannot hear, and definitely there's something going on because they stopped, and maybe they are reassuring the little ones. He said, "Oh, mommy, that was close. Do you think he would have eaten me if you didn't see him?" And yeah, I think there was a bit of reassuring. They've turned around and now they're coming. Oh, look at that beautiful shot, with all of them lined up almost in a line. Yeah, looks like the one way behind is a male, and then the others are females. I want a drink. Will you get a drink? Yes, looks like mommy will give you a drink. No. Yeah, this is a beautiful... It's part of a herd that we can't see the rest. We have only these 4, but they're part of a bigger herd, and they are leaving the marsh, as I said, and they're heading out into the plains, which is the norm here. The farthest one, she is a female, and she's got huge horns. Actually, tusks. Somebody asked if they don't get big tusks. Look at those. Those are big tusks, and looks like she uses the left-hand side more than the other, and she could be the matriarch. She's leading them out of this area nice and slowly, heading towards maybe where they can have some salt. David, how are you? We say Jumbo here in Kenya. You ask if this little guy here, I would give him maybe 20 months. Yeah, I'd give him 2 years, I would say. 24 months, I would say. I would give him there 24 months. Yeah, he looks like 24. Might be maybe more or less by a few months, but in between that 20 to 24. And this could be the mom. We saw her trying to suckle. Remember that elephants have got this very unique behavior where they never reach menopause, and if an old female dies and leaves a very young one, an unlactating female will feel the urge to produce milk, and within about 1 to 3 days she'll start lactating immediately to produce milk for the young one. Apart from that, it can get adopted by another female who's got a young one. So it's amazing how they have so many resemblances to us, or they have amazing way of living. Back to what it can do best. The young male lion has decided, why bother about with elephants? I cannot kill them anyway. Let me go back to my sleep. Remember, this is live. It's coming from Masai Mara, and I am here watching these lions and elephants, and I'm in the place called the Marsh. This is the Mara Triangle in the Masai Mara. This is live. You talk to us. Hashtag Wild Earth. Hashtag Wild Earth. For comments and questions. To get to know about this place more. I'm staying here because I'm really interested in knowing when these 2 boys and 2 girls are gonna wake up and decide to do.
Welcome back. So we've moved over to 5 lions huddled behind a little shrub here, You can see all the paws together there. They've all got a paw on one of the other's rumps or shoulders. It's quite cute, actually. And then if you look right in the middle, you can see that little white paw on this male's shoulder. That's one of the white lions, the young male. Really nice to see him next to the tawny lions, to see the difference there. Quite contrasting. But they are all fast asleep. As we moved over from the first position we were in, this male that we were looking at, he moved over with us, and we were saying he was just trying to steal the shine here. That's him right in front. Very peaceful. Cat got my tongue. Ngala is in the Lowveld, which is in Limpopo, and Pinda is in KwaZulu-Natal. So it is quite a long way. If you had to drive from Ngala, it would probably take you about 10 hours to get to Pinda. So nice to see them huddled together like this. And this is actually, this is quite important. Them cuddling each other like this, and often when it cools down, you also see them grooming each other. And this is important for their social bonds. It really does strengthen that. Seeing as lions are the only social cats, this is quite important. There's the white lion, just lifting his head. Stretching. A cuddle huddle. Yeah, they're not going anywhere anytime soon. Yeah, I was saying I'm quite surprised that most of them are out in the sun. But there isn't much shade in this area, and the reason why they're here is because there's a small water hole that's not too far from here. Other than that, there isn't a lot of water available, so that's why they've chosen this area. And it's also on a little crest, so there is a light breeze coming through, which is obviously helping to keep them cool. Hart is just zooming into one of the cubs.
Guys, have a look at what we've got. Have a look at this. So curiosity got the better of them. We were sitting just here waiting to see what was going on, and they actually just popped out to come and have a look. Look at how cute that is. Oh my soul. This is better than my birthday. Look at that. This is not even 3 weeks. Oh my soul. Guys, I have to be honest, this is the first time that I ever see cubs this small. Lion, leopard, cheetah, doesn't matter. This has officially just become my best sighting of all times. Oh my goodness. Have a quick look. I mean, after the cuteness overload, have a quick look at the, I'm sorry guys, if you hear a photo going, I can't resist. But have a look at how you can see that white on top of the back of the That is for a number of reasons. There's a lot of theories behind why they have that. And the most commonly accepted one is so that when you look at them right now, they look like a little honey badger. And that is intimidating to other possible or potential predators. Look at that, guys. I can't get over this. This is the best day of my guiding career so far. Oh. Yeah, no, guys, I mean, ooh and ah is exactly what's going through my mind the whole time. I'm struggling to really get a thought process going. I'm scrambled. This is just, this is so special. I'm shaking. My hands are shaking. I'm struggling to keep my camera steady, honestly. Yes, this is cool. You know, sometimes you just need to enjoy it. My soul. Oh yeah, guys, absolutely. This is, like I said, I mean, I've been doing this now for 8 years. 8 years of guiding and 28 years growing up in the bush, going to all sorts of nature reserves, Kruger National Park, you name it, Botswana, Namibia, all of those places. And this is the first time in my life that I've seen this. This is epic. Oh my goodness. I might take one of them home. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, no. There's only 3 here, and unfortunately we won't be taking any of them. However, the temptation is like overpowering me at the moment. Oh my goodness. Guys, just on the note of those long hair, that long white hair. Yeah, shame. It's, you know, with them being so small, their hand-eye coordination is not quite there yet, so climbing over that little branch and so on is a little bit tricky for him. Well, or her. I'm not sure about whether it's male or female yet. But just to come back to the long white hair on the back, that, you know, when they get born, their thermoregulating is also not as good as they would have wanted it to be just yet. So with them being very small, it's quite important to keep them warm. So that longer, thicker coat is also going to help just for that. You see the same thing happening with baby zebras. It's probably the easiest to also see that. When they're born up until about a year of age, they will then start losing that longer coat, but they'll have that almost a jersey-like effect for the first year of their life, just to keep them warm. Okay, so Joy, very good question. How good is their eyesight at this stage? And it's actually quite bad. So this is very good for us to have been able to see them during the day and during such good light. But typically speaking, what we do is if we find any cubs, whether it's lion, leopard, or cheetah, which is under about 6 months old, we refrain at all costs from using any type of light, spotlight or flashlight or, you know, camera flashes or anything like that on them, because their eyes are still so sensitive. So currently, I don't know if you could see that they still have blue eyes. As long as that is the case, those eyes are very, very sensitive, but also still very bad. I don't think their eyes have been open for more than a week, to be honest. So, I mean, their eyesight at the moment is not great, which is why mom needs to hide them. Which is why mom needs to hide them in this thicket. But yeah, that'll improve drastically over the next, I want to say, year. You know, with cats, their eyesight is one of their most valued senses. That's why they have that binocular vision, because they rely on it very much. Especially a cheetah, you know, traveling at those great speeds when they try and hunt, they need to be able to see every twig and every rock very quickly and in so much detail. But yeah, guys, this is incredible. So Seth, the mamas, we just had a question, how far is the mama away right now? She's not very far away. We actually saw her moving just as the cubs came out. She's just out of sight from where the cubs were coming out of the bushes. So I think they might have actually, she went in, they might have been drinking a bit, and then when their bellies were full of milk, they got a little brave and they came out. So I want to say, like I said, she's not moving now, and this is thick stuff. She's probably not a meter to 2 meters away from the cubs at the moment.
And how beautiful to see such small, tiny cubs. And I mean, I love cheetahs, but of all the animals we have here, anything small, anything a baby of, a cub of, you know, a puppy of, I mean, they're the animals that always touch my heart. So the same case would be to these egrets here. It's very unusual for us to see the chicks, but when I see even chickies of these egrets, they always give me lots of joy. Now, I'm imagining they're just warming themselves up, and these are the cattle egrets, having spent a busy day feeding the grass, and it's time to have a bit of a rest near this waterhole here. And I'm assuming they must have drunk lots of water to be where they are. Tons of ticks or insects they got in their bodies. And this is one, I would say, natural hole that once in a while we'll see hippos. And the last time I was here, I saw an elephant that was on the edge of this waterhole, and the hippo wanted to go and confront the elephant, and the elephant went right in the water, started swimming, and the hippo took off. I mean, we have a hippo there that's just having a poo break, and as usual, marking their territory with their tails. And you've got 3 of them. And this is just a natural waterhole, unlike a river. And we'll always have water all around the year. And it must have been the bull that was marking this territory as usual. And they will disappear for a couple of minutes. And nice to see hippos and egrets, quite a big number of them together. And as soon as they warm up and they're in good shape, like I'm sure they are going to take off. It's about 5 o'clock now here in Kenya. So once they take off, chances are I don't think they'll be feeding again. They'll be going to the trees where they roost and stay for the night to prepare to come out again tomorrow morning. That's the largest they get in size, and nothing compared to the great egret. And what I would really love to see is their nests where they'll have the chicks, and try to imagine the beauty you're watching here would be similar to their chicks. Smallish, tucked in, some are stretching themselves, aligning every muscle. Look at that. Ready to take off. And apparently every time they fly, they keep their flock together. We'll spend a few more minutes here and wait and see whether they are going to take off.
All right, welcome back to the Masai Mara, and here we've been looking for the lions, and it has taken really long for us, and finally we ended up at the main crossing point at the Mara River, and lucky enough we bounced. Look at these 2 lovely lionesses seated on this rocky end, and One is asleep now, one is still head up. And this bride is on the other side of the Mara River, and we are on the Mara Triangle side of the Mara. Oops, one is up. All right, so we are happy. Finally, we are finding these lions on the other side of the Mara, and we are happy to be on the river again. And after that search for a long time, we are with the lions now, and we hope to enjoy good time with them. They look relaxed, and now they are taking over from where we had the wildebeest crossing early in the morning. If you happen to have watched the wildebeest where Isaac was with us here, this is a nice place for the wildebeest, and you see the carnivores also knows where the food are. So, and that is why you find them. This is a nice ambush point for them, and they are enjoying this lovely sight. Tent, you're asking if the lions are on the Mara River. Thank you so much. The lions do swim across the Mara River, and sometimes, especially when the water level is really low, they are easily going on the other side, and they can sometimes, depending on if the food is on the other side or if they see anything good on the other side, they can cross over to the other side. Thank you so much. So we'll be staying with these lions for a while and see how they behave. I can see they are looking lazily sleeping, but of course enjoying the good sun, evening sun. You can hear the breeze, the rapids on the Mara River. Lovely bird flying over, and that is the vulture, white-backed vulture, probably looking after the dead wildebeest on the Mara River. As the wildebeest cross, some get stuck on the rocks. The vulture there trying to find some food. Ooh, look at that wildebeest, dead one. And those are the cleaners of the Mara, and that is the vulture. Oh, there is a crocodile heading down to where that, is that a buffalo? And anytime soon we are waiting to see if we're gonna have some early dinner or so. So we'll stick with that. It's a buffalo, I guess, yeah.
Welcome back to our snoozing lions. Not much has changed this side. A few of them have rolled over. We've just been watching them sleep, pretty much. But that is quite common. Normally when you see lions, this is what they'll be doing, especially if it's in the middle of the day. They'll sleep for about 18 to 20 hours of the day, and they're mostly active at night. So this is usually what you'll see when you find lions during the day. If you see them moving around, you're quite lucky. So there's one of the younger cubs there. Rosalind, how loud is a lion's roar? So to give you an idea, when a male lion roars on a clear night, you will be able to hear that roar from up to 8 kilometers away. So that is quite something. And I've been lucky enough to sit next to lions when they were roaring. So we were on the vehicle, and if you put your hands on the bar of the vehicle and the bars in the back, you can actually feel that vibration coming through the bars. So it is it is something quite spectacular. Look at that female in the middle with her leg up, not very ladylike. She's got her paws on the little cub's back there. I think we'll stick here or stay here for a few more minutes, and then eventually we'll probably also move on.
I'm at Chitwa Dam, and I'm just going to let you enjoy the view of the hippos, but you can listen to all the starlings in the background here. Isn't that just wonderful? We've been sitting here for a while just enjoying that. We have been looking at the young hippos though. There's a tiny one that was practicing its yawning. Now I don't think it was actually yawning as what humans would consider a yawn, but it was practicing its sort of territorial mouth opening. There's also one hippo. Unfortunately, I can't see this, blind in its left eye. Marlene, that's a tricky one. In the water, not really. The biggest threat to a hippo in the water would be another hippo. So we've seen many sad incidents down here when hippos kill one another. So the biggest threat in a situation like this is another hippo. But for a youngster, a hippo calf, we have seen them be attacked by crocodiles occasionally, and if they were out the water, then they would absolutely be a perfect snack for the likes of lions, a pride of lions. But of course, lions will not come into the water to get a hippo. So not really, no. We've seen lions feast on hippos many times, but all those situations that I have witnessed, the hippo has already been dead, if you like. It wasn't actively killed by the lions. So I would say the biggest threat to a hippo is another hippo. This must be one little bloat. Normally they have a dominant bull, females and youngsters. And there's a huge one with a completely white eye. I was really hoping to show it to you, but I think that's... They have very keen ears and nostrils, so a hippo would survive with damaged eyesight. So I think I'm going to sit here a little bit longer and enjoy this scene in front of me.
Hello and welcome back to the Masai Mara. I'm here with my lions and they have gotten even lazier. The reason I'm staying here is because they look very hungry and there is a lot of food around, and I'm hoping that when they realize the food is around, they will get into action, and I don't want to miss any moment of that. though right now looks like they have no idea, and also like, they're not in need, but I'm sure once they spot the food, then they will decide to do something. That's why I'm staying here. This is the Marsh Pride, and I have 4 of them. They used to be a very big pride. I haven't seen any of the males recently. These 4 youngsters, they are 2 young males, about 3 years, and 2 females, had killed a buffalo about 10 days ago, and there's plenty of buffalo here. So I'm hoping, to catch some action. I don't know what they're going to go for, but it is typical for lions to be doing this, to be doing what they're doing right now, sleeping, to conserve energy, to digest what they've been eating, although these guys don't look like they are digesting anything, waiting for, the day to cool down, then they'll go out. Remember, they are much more successful at night. It's more of a nocturnal animal, but it will take advantage of any sighting of anything they can bring down during the day to go for it. Looks like that female is getting more comfortable. Yeah, she's trying to find a position. Excuse me. And yeah, she's trying to get as comfortable as possible. Yeah. Well, apart from them making me, dozy, I'm going to try and stay awake, and hopefully they will realize that dinner can be served anytime because there's plenty of food around.
Thanks, Isaac, and welcome back to Djuma, everybody. I remember spending time with the Marsh Pride. They tried to hunt some eland. They didn't quite know what to do. Eland are very big animals. I think they tried to chase them, and then it was a little bit too much of an affair. Wonderful being in those areas. Here we are in the dense woodlands of Djuma. If you look closely at our impala, all of their heads are right down on the ground, everybody, because like the wildebeest, the grazing is back, and that is what they're looking for. So last year, spring, we didn't have rain immediately, so we had all the blossoms, or should I say all the leaves of the trees, re-emerging before that of the grass. Because although grass responds very quickly to rainfall, trees are responding to the change in daylight. So many of our trees are starting to regrow their leaves. But the nice soft pitter-patter of rain we had for 2 days has really benefited the basal growth layer. And we could even see a few wild flowers emerging. Rosemary, these are your favorite antelope. Well, I can guarantee you on a trip to any part of the Lowveld in South Africa, a game reserve, you will be able to find them. You won't be easily disappointed, I can assure you. Lots of impala around, and well, the great thing about it is that there's so much to discuss with impala. Just so good at what they do. And what is it now? Just 2 months, 2.5 months or so, until we see the population increase dramatically. Majority of the females you'll see here are all pregnant, so they're quite happy with the early spring rains, which has brought a very green and nutrient-rich grass.
We've just had the most incredible sighting of a monitor lizard literally walking right up to our car. Or should I say crawling? Tasting. Look, forking his tongue out, tasting the chemicals in the air. They also have an organ of Jacobson. A vomeronasal organ. Wow, it's so close to the car. This is a water monitor. It's a large one, though. Not a rock monitor. I think he's hungry. He's hunting. Wow. He's how he's swaying from side to side, moving quite erratically, following scent rather than a pathway. Many of you are saying he must leave all of the eggs alone. Yes, monitor lizards are well known for eating eggs, especially crocodile eggs. You hear that, Mr. Lizard? Leave the eggs alone. You're so gorgeous, though. And look, the length of the tail is almost exactly the same length as the body. Powerful rudder. Also a weapon in battle. Wow. I think there must be something here because he's circled this area quite a few times now. He's hungry, he's hunting. Like a mini dinosaur on the move. Mini Jurassic Park. Wow, look at that. Elizabeth, you probably can smell my peanut butter. From this morning, though, I have to say I don't do peanut butter in the afternoon. I'm very fussy, but yes, I probably can. Theo hates peanut butter. I don't know why. It makes me not trust him. But he's tasting, he's smelling something using the tongue. I wonder what it is that he smells. Isn't he gorgeous? They're ferocious carnivores, so he's obviously looking for something. David, there's different species of monitor lizards, but generally speaking, the water, look at those claws. The water monitor lizards that we have in front of us right now normally go to about 1 meter, which is 3 feet. Walking right towards the car. It's about to step into the shadow of Theo. We'll get a view. If he comes any closer, the car is going to block him. Let me check again. He's going right in front of it. I love that really wide gait they have with their back legs. It's almost like a waddle. And that's because of those long claws. Can you see that? It reminds me of my dragon, Floyd. Chipwood really is the perfect place for water monitor lizards. Got the water, naturally, vegetation, and lots of different areas to bask in the sun. This guy is really not sure where he wants to go. Okay, what an incredible sight, and I think Theo and I are going to sit here a little bit longer and enjoy this lizard.
Well, welcome back to the Mara River, and we are still seated here. The 2 lionesses look really lazily sleeping at the moment, and we hope to stay with them for some few minutes and see how they behave. At one point or another, they keep popping up their heads, and I'm wondering if they can see anything, because on the horizon, you can see there is no any herbivore around, which they can hunt at the moment. So It just looked like a beautiful savanna plains and no herbivore around. So we'll just be keeping our eye on these two lionesses and see how things goes. And back to the river again, enjoying the rapids here with there's one massive, look at that massive crocodile there. A big boy, Ragalaida. Leslie seated again, enjoying the last sun of the day before the evening comes in. We stretch again on the further left. We have a very big school of hippos. Good one. Wow, look at that. With a white bird seated on one of them. And that is a cattle egret. So also the hippos are enjoying these last minute sun rays, which is really cool for them before they start going out for their grazing. And at the Mara now, although the wildebeest have exhausted some of the grass, but they still get some food for themselves during the night. Lovely there. Look at the Mara Rapids. Isn't that cool? On this end again, we have this big boy with beautiful teeth. Look at the mandibles. Look at that massive teeth. Wow. Just lazily seated again, and it looks like even he's looking at us. If you look at the eye, relaxed. These guys have been feeding so far for the last 3 or so months when the crossing happens, because this is the same spot where the crossing happens, and these guys always eat a lot of food and stuck in their bodies, and they can use that for almost a year before the next migration comes in. But also sometimes they will depend on these animals which comes in to drink on this river. And it's just a deadly river, again, for even human being to cross. So we hope for them, they store a lot of fat in their bodies, then they can spend that for their entire close to 1 year or so. Down on thank you so much, Veliska. But they can get really big, but they eat a lot of wildebeest and zebras, but they can get bigger than that. I think the record is about 5 to 6 meters. So this one is not that really fat, but it can get bigger than that. This probably might be weighing around something to do with around 500 kilograms, but it can get even up to 1 ton. All right. So he's just lazily seated there, enjoying the last sun, because they depend on the sun to warm themselves. All right, so we will spend some few minutes here, then we'll still continue to drive and find if we can see more cats in the evening as we wrap up the day.
All right, so we have left the sleeping lions, and as we turned the first corner after we came out of the block, look what we have found. An African wild dog sleeping right on the side of the road. Now this is incredible. Like they're usually quite hard to find, but this is quite a good area for them. At the moment we can only see one, which is quite unusual. They normally travel in packs. So we'll see. The others might just be off to the side, maybe sleeping in the shade, in the grass there. How beautiful are those big round ears? The coloration on them are just, oh, it's just amazing. That mottled pattern. Hey? You'll see every now and again when it flicks its tail as well, you'll see that white tip That's at the end. Here's some fish eagles calling in the background. But how incredible is this? I could not believe my eyes. I must agree. This is also one of my favorites. I'll say a big bull elephant and a wild dog is definitely up there for me. So wild dogs are generally active during the day. So they'll hunt early mornings and maybe late afternoons. But when it gets hot like it is now, then they'll also rest. They're not quite as lazy as the lions though. So in a little while, if they hadn't had something to eat in the morning, if they're still hungry, they might get up and start moving around. But this animal in the road is quite aware. You can see constantly lifting its head. You can see those ears moving around. But no sign of any other dogs yet. There we go. Yeah, I think what we'll do, we're going to move slightly closer in just a minute, just to get a better view. I don't want to disturb him. He's quite close to the road, so I'll go off to the side and we'll just investigate and see if the others aren't just sleeping behind him. I think maybe let's try. Alright, so if they are here, they'll be flat in the grass. So we must just be careful we don't drive over a wild dog. No, I can't see any others at this stage.
Welcome back to the Mara, and I'm still here with my lionesses and lions, and looks like they're doing a dance routine, all fast asleep. I am hoping soon they will be up, because they have been in that position for the last almost half hour. It is normal for them. I cannot blame them. Sometimes I feel like I want to tell them it's time, but these are animals, and there's nothing I can do. All I have to do is to be patient. I know when they want to give me an action, they will do, and sometimes I have to be very, very patient. Thank you for still being there, and don't get tired, because you know there's nothing we can do. These are animals. This is what they do. I'm loving watching them and studying their behavior, what they do. But usually after a long nap, they will, wake up and have a look, and if they spot something, they would go, of which there is a lot, in plenty. I'm hoping they do that. It will also be nice to see them up, so I know who is who, because all have been asleep. There was one male only I saw, and then the rest are quite a distance away. We're using the zoom of the camera to zoom in. They're quite a distance, almost about 150 feet. And I'm hoping they're going to be up to come up this way. Remember to talk to us. Hashtag Wild Earth. Questions, comments are very, very welcome as we wait for these guys to, maybe wake up and show us the lion side.
Welcome back again, everyone. This is Tom again. As you can see here, we got some lovely sighting with the white-backed vultures. Actually, they look like they must be coming to the time to resting for a bit. And there are actually 4 of them on the very lovely tree. They actually resting for now for the afternoon. When we arrive here, we have only 2, and then suddenly 2 have just arrived. As you can see, all of them sitting nicely, enjoying for the afternoon sunlight, and pretty nice and warmer for them. And 3 of them are still flying around the sky. I'm not too sure if they were a kill around this area from this morning. Probably there's a very good chance maybe they just finishing whatever they were left from someone else. Could be lion or cheetah or a leopard. Yeah, they look like they're just slowly coming back. There is another one coming just, and I'm not sure if it's going to land in the same tree, but they're slowly coming. If you look on there, you can see. Here we go. Yeah. Wow, that's lovely. That's congrats for that for them as well. It looks like 5 of them now up on a tree, which is lovely. This is a favorite tree for the vulture. Yeah, that's interesting to see all coming sitting like now. You can see that one just trying to get himself to rest a little bit after flying for a little bit distance. You can see it's just a little bit windy because they don't like to fly up on the sky when there's a lot of wind. But yeah, this is a very good place. And then it's a bit more open and a little bit more dancing on the left side. It's always a good chance maybe for something got killed here in this area. So now they're coming back to rest for the evening. The vultures are very important because if you know, they actually cleaning a lot of leftover from the other predators. Can you imagine if there's like carcasses everywhere, and then they'll be like not very nice to come around and you find a lot of carcasses sitting there because they don't kill. They don't make their own kill. They keep on like scavenging everywhere around. That's why I make the vultures very important. They're playing very good role into the environment. Tom, look at that one. It's just standing up nicely. You could see it's just warming up himself nicely, opening the wings like this. Yeah, it looks like they're gonna spend the evening here. As you can see, like 6 of them now, which is a number very good now. Yeah, this is one of the lovely tree, which is a fever tree, but it's dead now. They love it because they can sit nicely there. If it's anything coming, try to approach them, especially in the evening, they were able to pick it up quickly and they can fly away without get hurt. They're not so dense, it's more open for them. Yeah, this is a lovely afternoon. As you can see, the sky is very clear. Sun shining direct to them, which is lovely. Yeah, that is a beautiful day. Interesting, that is a Vulture International, so which is lovely to see that for sure. Yeah, the sky is something else. Look at these two sitting nice together. Yeah, this is a lovely, because even where we are, when we leave here, we're not going to disturb them. We will turn around and head back, because this is a very, very beautiful trip for them. And then you can see they're all enjoying themselves to see it here, because others, they just spot the others up on this tree, and they also start coming down. I'm not sure how many they're going to be ending up on this tree, because we start, we'll leave them alone without being disturb them. Just windy.
Welcome back to this area where I'm waiting for my lions to wake up. But apart from lions, I have elephants also. They're all over around this area, and they're heading out into the plains for their much, needed either salt lick or a different kind of brush or grass. Yes, and they are accompanied by, the cattle egrets. Looks like mom is pushing the little one to move faster. They're gonna go behind the bush. So I don't know if we have some more. Look at that. Yeah, nice. I didn't see that. Thank you, James. Yeah, looks like the matriarch is ahead and is leading everybody out into the open plains. For some reason, this is a behavior I see this time of day. Every day they leave, they mash, and they head out into the open. Today is World Vultures Day, and you might say yuck, but vultures are a very important part of our ecosystem, and although they're scavengers, and that's what they're meant to do, they play a very big role, because they clean up the environment, making sure we don't get disease spreading, and also we don't have excess meat going to waste. Apart from that, they make sure that things that are supposed to stay out in the open for a very long are cleaned quite quickly, and that is the importance of them. They have been facing lots of threats in the previous years, mainly poisoning, and the poisoning has been done indirectly, where they have been affected by poison meant to kill other rodents or pests that are disturbing either crop or a yield in farmers' area, and so they get poisoned. It causes a chain reaction and making the chain get to the vultures. Well, Ryan, thank you for your question. You ask if lions eat vultures. I've never seen them eat. I've seen them kill them. They kill them, but they don't eat them. That is my answer. Somebody else might have another answer. Remember, I've been doing this for over almost 20 years, and I've never seen them eat them, but I've seen them killing vultures. When they've been, eating the lions and then they leave, the vultures come, and usually, they have no table manners. It's all for us. They just jump into the kill, not noticing sometimes the lion is angry and it's coming back to defend its kill. The swats one bites it, kills it, and just leaves it there. I've seen that happen, but I've never seen them really eating on them. I would say the one likely to eat vulture would be a leopard, because leopards are interesting cats. They eat almost everything. But I hope I gave you my answer. just a little bit about the vulture. They have a clutch size of up to 3, and they have a lifespan of up to 40 years. 10 to 40 years, and they have a wingspan of 1.7 meters. That is huge. Yes, and they are mainly found all over Africa. And over here we have almost 5 species: African white-headed, Ruppel's griffon, African whiteback, leopard-faced vulture, and hooded vulture. And also, every now and then we do get the Egyptian vulture, which is rather rare because it is a migrant flying from North Africa all the way to here. I'm still here waiting for these guys to wake up.
All right, guys, so we just had a glimpse of the one cub. It's moving to our left-hand side. We're going to just try and get a better angle of it. The mom has actually relaxed so much that I just see movement through there, David. Let me switch off here. So much that she's actually started grooming the cubs and then called them to come and suckle. And this guy just popped through a little gap. We wanted to reposition to try and see if we can get a better look at that. But unfortunately, yes, David and I have been speaking about this. This is a really good mother. I mean, she could not have chosen a better hiding spot. There is not one gap to get to be able to see through this thick stuff to know that there's even cubs here. But yeah, guys, it's obviously we're not going to go close to the den site or so on. We don't want to disturb that too much. These little guys are very sensitive at the moment. Liz. So Liz, yes, very good question. We just had the question from Liz, what is the policy for new cubs at Tswalu? Obviously, yes. So this has been a very lucky day for us. As I mentioned, this is the first time these cubs were sighted was not 3 hours ago by another guide called Mark, and he updated us and we came and we wanted to show you this. Most likely we are going to close this sighting for at least another 2 weeks after we've seen them today. If she does move the den site, we'll have to relocate after that 2 weeks. But like I said, guys, these little guys are very sensitive at the moment. So we are keeping our distance. It is good for them to hear the engine of the vehicle and all of those things, people's voices, so that one day when they are grown up, it's not a new thing for them. But definitely, I'm very sure they're going to have restrictions on this particular set of cubs as to when it starts opening up, having only one vehicle to allowed on the sighting or something like that. So we will, as a team, decide on how we are going to handle the sighting, because, obviously there's not only me driving around in the reserve, there's other guys with photographers on their vehicle and so on. So we were very lucky to be able to see this today, and we'll discuss that maybe tonight or tomorrow or in the next guide meeting, and then there will be a clear set of restrictions for the next week to come, and then for the next 2 weeks, and we'll take it from there. So very good question. We do handle all of these specific types of sightings with the utmost care. But yeah, I think with that being the case, we'll maybe spend another 10-15 minutes here, see if there's something that comes through. If she maybe brings the cubs out, as I said, she's already relaxed with us around here, the mom now. So if we do get another look at them, that'll be cool. Otherwise, we're going to love and leave them. We've already been so privileged today.
Well, cheetah cubs, you can't beat that in an afternoon like that, can you? had some blue waxbills a moment ago that definitely are very cute, but they don't match up to cheetah cubs, everybody. But what I wanted to talk about was this bush we've got here is one of very common trees we find around, but a very thorny, spiky tree called the buffalo thorn. And you can see through it very clearly. There's a couple of leaves that are showing, but majority of the tree is very, very sparse. And being a World Vulture Day, you'll notice that vultures, not only vultures, but many birds, rely on trees for safety, for breeding, for nesting. And we had because the vultures will nest on the tallest tops of the tallest knob thorns, and many of our small little birds, like waxbills, will actually use these trees for nesting. They'll do little woven nests right inside there. It's very inaccessible. And we had a little family of them a moment ago that had probably gone and bathed somewhere. We're not sure. We're not that close to water. I suppose Twin Dams isn't that far away. But they went inside this bush and they were preening, because it's very tricky for a sparrowhawk or bird of prey to pick them off the end of a branch when they're inside there. So a very well-protected area, obviously very sparse now. There's not much shade being provided, but soon, very soon, this tree is going to be blooming with leaves and flowers and fruit. You won't be able to see through it. So it'll provide a very nice nesting site, shady spot, and nutrients for many of our animals. Wonderful ecological roles that these plants perform, and it's going to be very interesting to watch how spring changes the environment.
Welcome back again, everyone. We are still here. We're just looking at the beautiful buffalo bulls. As you can see, they're just hanging around right in front of us, just chewing their cud, which is very nice for them. Nice afternoon, enjoying themselves, the sunlight, which is right next to the dry riverbed, which is a good place for them to attach it to if something disturbing them. And they're actually a good place because they're trying to hide away from this quite a strong wind which we have today. So as you can see, these three guys just chilling out, no worries at all. And normally you find the buffalo or with the herd a little bit more. Vicky, if we have like early rain in Pinda, will be like August, September, but it looks like we didn't have some rain this time. Real rainy season here for us will be like November, December, January. This is a real rainy season. But actually, as you can see now, we've been having like rain every now and again. We've been like confused as well. But yeah, our rainy season like November, December, January. Vicky. Yeah, we having these three buffalo and far across, but we won't be able to see that some impala as well hanging around. It's usually so many eyes helping if there's any dangerous coming around. This is a nice open area where they are. Oh, look at that one. It looks like it wanted to move, but that one is just chilling, chewing, not really worrying. If you look at his ears, it has a few tones of his ear, and because of that, that's one of the reasons why these bulls are actually hanging around, three of them together like this, because that normally there will be dominant male, and then for a little while, and then ending up challenged by the younger bulls as well, or even those are a bit more stronger than the others, and they end up a big fight. That's why they have a lot of tones of the ears. So they fight, they'll leave the herd, coming to wandering around like that by themselves, and then suddenly they come join the other males, and then they started form a group of. Sometimes you can easily find 5 to 10 bulls together, which is a partial herd, what we call, and after a little while, when they feel more strong again, they go back to challenge whoever is the dominant into their herd. If they win the fight, they take over again. They keep on swapping around like that. That doesn't really last very long until they realize they're old enough to leave completely for the herd, and they don't go back again. They end up dying because of the old age. Sometimes they get killed by lions if they're in a wrong area. For them, not worry about if you look this grass, how dry it is. They don't mind. They can eat a lot of it, much as they could. And then because they drink twice a day, so for them it's not worried at all. They can drink a lot of. I can chew the cud. Okay, well, just see, leave them alone.
Welcome back to the Mara, and I'm still with my lions here at the marsh, and looks like the sleeping has gotten to a different height. Now it's the backflip style, or the grab my tummy style. I don't know what I'll call it. Two males seems to be doing that. The female, the one in the middle, is a female, and so the males have decided it's belly up time. I don't know how much longer they're going to do this, but I think they're catching up with a much needed sleep after maybe a very hectic night last night and early morning hunting where they didn't get anything, or maybe they tried but they didn't succeed. They usually use lots of energy and strength, and to rejuvenate, recover, they have to do lots of this. Sometimes it helps to have a drink of water, so maybe they had that, and then they decided to come here. Where they are is a prime estate. I don't know what you call the prime estate where you live, but here in the Masai Mara we don't have any prime estate, but in the city we do have quite a few called Kilaleshwa. That's why it's very posh. So they're in a very posh area where there's abundance of food and water. Can you imagine living in a marsh? Minamu, Jumbo. You ask if the buffaloes are less targeted during the migration. Of course they are. And the main reason is they are tougher to bring down, and they put up a fight, and they always don't go down easy. When you have hundreds and thousands of zebra and wildebeest, the menu slightly changes to whatever you can get much easier, and that's the wildebeest and zebra. So it is different during the migration. Buffaloes are not targeted. But still, when push comes to shove, like right now, these guys haven't eaten well since their last buffalo, which is around 10 days. And there is nothing in sight like a wildebeest or zebra. They're in the farthest corner of the conservancy. So the main thing here on the menu, on top of the menu, is elephant and buffalo. And I would scrap the elephant away and keep the buffalo up there. If not, then warthogs. And there are not very many. I don't see any. They could be eland a long ways away. I see them. And then there is waterbuck. So yes, they are less targeted. There is more slightly different for them to go for, and I think that's what right now they are thinking. They really need to go for something. It will be very interesting because they're youngsters, full of energy and strength, and it's time to test their skills and survival capability by going for big buffalo. They did it the other day, so definitely they are going to do it again. I'm hoping to experience and see that because it's one of a kind sighting. Don't no guarantees though. Don't say Isaac said so. So I'm hoping, they're gonna get up and do something. Remember, this is life, and these are not stuffed lions. They are real. They're just fast asleep. I'm giving them enough space so that they can really fully, enjoy their sleep without me disturbing them and or interfering. But they are masters of sleeping. If there is one animal that I know can sleep, it is a lion or a lioness. They know how to sleep. They are good sleepers. Around me, it's just beautiful scenery of Ololo escarpment. The sun starting to go down, not hot at all. It's just beautiful. Yeah, it's a little bit hazy towards the escarpment. Smells like there was a fire somewhere. I don't know where it is. So it's a little bit hazy and smoky. But all in all, it's wonderful. It's beautiful. It's awesome. The sights here are amazing. You can see as far as your eyes is capable of seeing. That is the kind of scenery I have here. We're quite low down, so we cannot see as far. We're looking upwards. Yeah. Those are the forests where you find all our, nocturnal animals hiding. Yeah, look at that. In front of me right here, it's a croton tree, very important for the plains. Look at that. It's just magnificent, scenery compared to none. These are some of the beautiful sceneries I've ever experienced or seen in my life. Over here, you see as far as your eye is able to see, and always very different in each direction. Yeah, just enjoy that view. It's amazing. It's amazing. Yeah, up there on the escarpment is where our camp is, somewhere along the way to the right. We have to drive all the way to the top, and the scenery there is breathtaking. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, just enjoy that view. Super.
Welcome back to Ngada. So the last time you were with us, we had that single wild dog next to the road. He eventually got up and he moved off, and we decided to continue on. And we've been discussing this. It's quite a strange thing for a wild dog to be by itself, like I mentioned earlier. And usually when wild dogs disperse, they'll do that in groups. So a group of males will move off together, or a group of females. And we really couldn't see any other dogs around. So that was quite strange. And then we were also saying maybe it was an old dog or something, but he did not look old. And also I've read that about 80% of the wild dogs in this area, they are less than 5 years old. So we have absolutely no idea why that dog is by itself. We'll keep an eye on that area just to see maybe there were other dogs that we just didn't pick up on. But for now, we're going to continue. We're on our way to the riverbed. We're going to drive down there and see what else we can find. Ooh, Tom, my favorite place in the reserve, it must be the riverbed. And the southwestern part of the riverbed. I think there's just something so special about the big trees, and it's also an area that usually attracts a lot of animals just because it's so green throughout the year. So I think it's a really, really nice place to drive, and also because we don't have any water in this river. We are able to drive in the riverbed. So I think that's quite special, and that's definitely my favorite spot on the reserve. One of my favorites. There are quite a few. We are close to the river now. We can start seeing big trees popping up to our right here, and that is one of the indications that you're close to a watercourse.
All right, guys, we've decided to, not overdose ourselves on cuteness for today. We have left those cheetahs. The mom is busy nursing them and cleaning them and those types of things. So a great sign that they're relaxed, and they were relaxed with us around there as well. So we're gonna love and leave them now. We're gonna move on and see if we can find something else. But yeah, I mean, guys, I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, because this was, like I said, has to be, if not the best, one of the best sightings of my life. Debbie's a very good question. Do cheetahs mate with multiple males? And the answer is, well, sometimes yes, sometimes no. So it depends on when they, there's I'm going to answer this question in two different ways. So if you find a female that's an estrus, and there's a coalition of males that finds her while she's ready for mating, or not quite ready, but they'll mob her actually, and it's quite a traumatic experience for the female to go through that. I saw a documentary once where there was 4 male cheetahs, mobbing this female to all get it's a horrible way of saying it, but a piece of the action, They all wanted to mate with her, even though they're in a coalition with one another. But then if the question that you're asking is, does she mate with multiple males? Like if she's monogamous, yes, absolutely, she does mate with multiple males. They will, at the time when she goes into estrus, like now, obviously she's not going to go into estrus for a very long time, about 18 months almost, if she is successful in raising even one of those cubs. But when she then goes into estrus again, she won't necessarily go back to the same male. If that male, for some reason, is still the dominant guy in this area, obviously she's going to want to mate with him, because the more dominant the genes of the male, the stronger her babies will be that gets created by those genes. So if it is the same male, they will mate with him. If there's a new male that came into the area that maybe kicked that guy out, and he's now the dominant boy of this area, she is going to mate with that male. So definitely over her life she'll mate with multiple males, unless you get a reserve where there's only one male and one female. But as like here in Tswalu, we've got enough males and enough females that there's definitely crossbreeding between one another. But at any given estrus cycle, if she falls pregnant, there is a possibility of them mating with more than one male. You'll find that maybe she starts mating with the one, and then a stronger one comes in and chases this guy off, and he continues mating with her. I've seen that with lions happening as well. So very possible that she, in an estrus cycle, mates with more than one male, and also throughout her life she'll definitely mate with more than one male. So yeah, I hope that answers your question. But yeah, guys, as I said, we're just going to bumble back towards camp, see if we can maybe get lucky. It is a beautiful afternoon, so maybe a black-backed jackal, or maybe another cheetah, or some bat-eared foxes or Cape foxes or something like that, or just some good antelope or something like that.
Is she coming to? Welcome to Eco Training Pride Lands Conservancy. Yeah, what a beautiful site here, just by the dam. Ladies and gentlemen, it's me again. Welcome to the live show here at Pride Land.
It's one of those, days. Very beautiful afternoon. We just had an elephant drinking water not so long ago. Sometimes it's actually good just, you sit by the water hole and, just wait for staff to come and have a drink. Oh, we have two lovely birds there coming to drink, a ring-necked dove, and I think there's one more that's not really clear, just on their left. Oh, wow, look at that, guys. It's a Natal spearfowl. Not often that you see birds drinking. It's quite amazing, eh? It's beautiful. Ryan, so I started guiding. It's been like, 3 years now, guiding. But before that, I was just an animal tracker. So I would say more or less combining trekking and guiding all together. Oh, look at that, guys. Look at that. Very beautiful. If you look at it, look at the beak, it's quite orange reddish. Also the feet, it's one of the birds that, in the morning that will wake you up. Very beautiful, very beautiful. Normal find them like, 2 or 3, 4 all together. It's actually one of my favorite, but hey, the noise that they make in the morning while one is still sleeping, it's not really pleasant.
Okay, well, welcome back to the live broadcast here in the Masai Mara, and here we've got 3 male giraffes, and they were trying to play around with their necks, kind of fighting. Then there was one which which went and make the others not to fight again, but we'll stay with them and see if they fight. And that is called the necking behavior. Necking behavior is where the males, young males, start developing, that is how they fight, and that is how they claim their dominancy. When they get older, they'll need to mate with the females, so that is why they fight, and that is how the giraffes fight, using their necks, hitting each other. But playfully, when they are young, they can still play, but when it's really a real game of fight, they do that nastily. So we'll watch them over and see. One on this far right, it seems like they're coming to this side and looking over, scanning around. And also this area is a good area for the lions, and we've known giraffes to be very good indicators of the predators around, and these I love giraffes. It's one of my favorite animal here on the savannah, because severally I've used this animal to locate if there is any predator lying down, like lions or so. Look at that sun. Beautiful scenario again here on the horizon. It seems to be coming closer to where we are. So let's keep watching. We're also enjoying the breeze. It's getting chilly again. Good question, Kale. Severally, yes, I've seen a giraffe giving birth, and it's really amazing how you can imagine that height of the giraffe and they give birth standing. So with that long really fall, the young one still survives, and the young one is born at around close to something to do with about 50 kilograms when they are born, the young ones. Thank you, Gail. The first one is still standing, looking at us, wondering. That's a very good question, and as I said earlier on, this is my favorite animal because I've used this animal to locate all the predators around sometimes, and how elegant they are you can see by the look, how they are looking and watching around. So my favorite animal is this one we are now with the Massa giraffe. Look at how they walk gracefully. Look at that young sub-adult boy. Lovely walk there. The first one is still, now she's walking again. And this family is a mix. At the background, we have some few young males around. And that is the one which was fighting, trying to play around with their necks. Very, very beautiful, lovely giraffes. Look at how they are how she's staring. Picking some sound. Wow, what a shake. Trying to keep off the bird. Wow, look at that lovely buffalo again down on the ground. That is a male, the old dagger boy, buffalo, chewing the cud, relaxed, no pressure. She's coming closer to where we are now. Wow, look at that, guys. Isn't it amazing? Look at the oxpeckers on her neck. Trying to get some food again. That is a mutualism. Lovely walk. Come on, baby. Wow. I just want to leave you to enjoy and have a look at how she's coming around. Isn't it amazing? Now she's stopping and wondering who we are. Take a look again. Wow, look at that. Look at the lovely underside of the ear. It's like a tree, like a leaf with a black inside. Well, we'll just stay with these giraffes for a while and see. But they're really beautiful. Look at that. Hello.
Sometimes golden light in an animal can be quite majestic. And sometimes their silhouette as well. Backdrop of the light behind, and we've got ourselves the journey of Giraffe 2. Moving through the red bush willow woodland. Ian, best thing about spring is watching the vegetation return, go from this very dry, open expanse, and just you see life re-emerging. Obviously, it gets very pretty. The colors change, the dust settles. I mean, I enjoy rain, but I couldn't say that I enjoy getting wet out in the bush, but I love what the rain does. I love how the colors start to re-emerge, the greens. It's a very different green from green. But it's still the time of year where the vegetation is not quite there yet, so lots of flowers, which bring about very, very pretty insects as well. I've already seen a couple of butterflies today. I saw a spotted joker as well as a citrus swallowtail. And the spiders are already started to go, preempting the bloom of insects. Of course, that giraffe's going to stop behind the bush. Let me move forward for you, Beaks. Get another little shot. So I think with the spring comes just the promise of life, because you go through the dry season, and this time last year the vegetation wasn't bouncing back yet. We didn't have rain yet, although the spring did arrive. Didn't yet have the rain, so it was still very dry, and the animals were looking very poor condition. The watering holes were just mud, dried, caked mud. Trees are going to blossom, push forward leaves. One thing I don't enjoy that much about the spring or the rain is how difficult it becomes to track, because the rain makes the ground soft initially, then the sun bakes it. It becomes almost impossible to track some of our feline friends.
We're just playing peekaboo. With a dwarfie. Hello. I think he thinks we can't see it. That's okay. I'll play along. Do you see anything here, Theo? No, me neither. Nothing to see here. Let's just wait. It'll come back. Here we go. Nope, there's nothing to see here. Just a termite mound and some vegetation. It is so cute. We had a slender mongoose for you earlier as well, but they are just so skittish. At least the dwarfies, well, they give us a laugh. I was actually discussing with the meerkat habituators how really easy it would be to work with dwarf mongoose to make them more habituated to the presence of humans. I would say that these dwarf mongoose sort of families that you have in Djuma are very habituated to vehicles. And they hide, but then they do come out and play like this little one. And I think it would be really easy to habituate them on foot. They're very curious. Their curiosity is what gets them. You never see them take to the trees, though. They're entirely... Oh, we've got one watching us in front of the car. Oh, no! Sorry, Theo. Theo moved. And it ran away, but it's watching us. Dwarf mongoose are everywhere. So, oh, hello. It's almost that time where you must run into your nearest mound. Look at that pear-shaped skull. They have a very unique skull, dwarf mongoose. Oh, what a good scratch. Okay, I'm gonna sit here and keep playing peekaboo with our little dwarfies.
Hello, everybody, welcome back. We've got a little bit of competition happening here. Don't go behind the bush. The boys are having a fight. Oh! The ladies are watching somewhere. There's a group of boys here. See if I can count them. They are just swinging necks. There were three a moment ago, or should I say 3 having a go. All pretty decent size males here. I can't see a female, so I'm going to try exert some dominance on each other. The real fighting only really happens when ladies are watching. She has to know who the winner is, you see. Just move forward there, get another view. Well, it doesn't look too serious, everybody, but we did see 3 of them standing next to each other, just swinging wildly. So we just asked for Kirsty to come to us. We weren't sure. We've just arrived, so we haven't really been able to ascertain the aggression that these guys are having towards each other, but it's caused the males. We were watching a male before that was feeding. It caused him to come charging over because he's probably heard the noise. They're all pretty decent sized males, so there would be some form of dominance hierarchy forming here. You'll often find in males much bigger ones with younger ones having a bit of a practice, but they all seem pretty similar in size. Those 2 there are going to have a go now. Emily, you want to know if the necks get hurt? And I have no doubt that they get badly bruised because they hit each other with the top of their head, and they can hit each other in all different parts of the body. They hit themselves on the shoulders, on the head. I've seen male giraffe, one knock the other one completely unconscious. It clipped him on the jaw, and that was the end of him. Didn't get up. So I've no doubt that their necks do take a little bit of punishment. But there are lots of muscles. Like any fighter, you go into a ring or you go into any sort of confrontation, and you're going to hurt yourself. There is a lot of technique, and they do practice. You do find younger males practicing this a lot. And, well, there's not a huge amount of aggression here. More submission as they're moving away. So I've counted 5, and then a 6th giraffe is about to approach from the back. No doubt. 7th giraffe. Here's our little backlit silhouettes. Not too serious. Now, we saw a couple big swings. Wow, here comes an 8th male. Now, there are 8 big male giraffe. I can't say in South Africa I've seen 8 big giraffe together. I've seen accumulations of 8 or 10, male and female together. These all look pretty decent sized males. Okay, well, we'll spend a few more moments with these guys and see if they get up to any sort of real business.
Welcome back to me and my lions here in the Mara, and they have put their heads up. I think it's a wrap for sleeping time, and it's about time they start going to look for something. Of course, it's very late, but I don't know how soon or later they're going to be up on the feet moving. and yeah, you just saw that female go back to sleep. I don't know what she means. This young male is really looking at a big herd of buffalo that we're going to show you in a moment. It's not very far. I would say it's only about 300 meters. And they haven't noticed the lions here because normally what they do, if they find them, they see them, they will chase them, they will come and chase them. So the buffaloes are not far at all. They're over here. There's lots of little ones, lots of young ones. It's a mixture of everybody. And it looks like they're moving in all directions. Susie, yeah, everything put in line. You ask, which animal the lions won't hunt. Basically, a lion will hunt anything, even human. If you become a target, it will hunt you. The animals they will not like, I would say, animals they would like now everything, they will hunt almost. As soon as it appears, they'll go for it. I've seen them go for everything from young buffalo, young elephant, buffalo, giraffe, waterbuck, Thompson's gazelle, grants, eland, wildebeest. I think mammals, they'll hunt everything. As long as it's there, they'll go for it. Yeah, they're the super predators. They're the king of beasts. They will eat anything that is available to them. As mammals, they'll go for everything. But, if you mean, they won't go just openly for it, I would say they'll avoid elephant. They'll avoid something like rhino. But everything else is very welcome. Also, hippo, unless they are a very big pride. So they'll avoid the big ones because they're also dangerous and potentially they could harm them or even kill them. So, yeah, everything's on the menu, but the big ones are more immune to them than, everybody else. Yeah, I'm staying here with these guys. Wait for them to see what's going to happen, then I'm going to move on.
Welcome back to our giraffe boys. There's 10 now. They're all coming towards us. It's going to be quite magical, actually. Seeing all of them here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I thought I counted 10 before. They've all started feeding again. Rihanna, I have actually. BK was with me a while ago. Do you remember that noise, BK? And Chitwa, that giraffe made that weird sound. I can't even remember what it sounded like. Do you remember? It was a weird little noise it made. It was like a grunting noise, but that's the first time in a while. But when giraffe get hunted, they make the most unbelievable sound. They bellow. I've had a couple lions back in the day killing giraffe and killing giraffe calves. That wasn't very pleasant. The noise that they make is, it's not very nice to hear. So, but for the most part, they're very quiet. Very quiet. A lot of people would actually go and say the giraffe are mutes, but I don't think that's the case. I just think they choose their words very carefully. A lot of body language in nature, everybody. An enormous amount of body language. And when you're as big as a giraffe, body language is everything. You notice with horses, if you spend any time with horses, enormous amount of body language, the way they hold their head and their ears. Now, a giraffe is very big and can be seen a long way away. So their body language is obviously very, very obvious. when you know what you're looking for. Seems like those boys are moving off from these boys. Beautiful light. Martha, no, they don't mate for life. A male giraffe will go through these sort of accumulations with other males and will compete. And the strongest male will definitely mate with the female. Quite often she's around to watch the battle, and then the victor mates with her. And then that's it. He doesn't do anything else. He goes off again. They are very loose associations. Even the females, you might find them with offspring or with previous offspring. But they move with other males, with other females. It doesn't really matter. There's no real big bonding. They call it a temporary association. And out of these 9 boys, 2 of them were smaller. The rest were pretty big. Here comes one. I'm going to walk across the sun, BK. Lots going on with those ears. Lots going on with the head. If we spoke giraffe, we'd know, wouldn't we? Now he's walking towards his friend. There's definitely something going to happen between these two. Definitely some form of communication has happened, whether it's come and walk side by side with me, come and battle me here in the open. Definitely something going on between the two of them there. They're obviously going to go behind the vehicle now. No, let's walk, boys. Sorry about the aerial. No doubt that they can size each other up. Many animals will avoid conflict primarily due to size. Okay, let me turn, get these 2 boys. Primarily due to size. We can see how the nyalas will outplay each other just with the dance. That dance is all about who's bigger. And body language, size of body, even in humans. I mean, you don't walk up to the biggest person you've ever seen and decide I'm going to fight, unless you're a very big person yourself or got some specialized way of fighting. But body language in nature, everybody, and body size plays an enormous role.
So we decided to stick around Ndlovu Dam, and just here there's a beautiful bird. It's a blacksmith lapwing. It's one of the birds that you normally get around like Waterhole, and it just went behind the log. Normally you find like them, like 2 or even more, but it's quite surprising that I'm only seeing one here. But I guess now it's about the right time for them, like breeding. Maybe the female, she's somewhere around, just outside the dam, like incubating the eggs. Very, very aggressive bird, eh? It's one of the aggressive species of bird that I know. Maybe it's probably why we don't have any other animals here, because they'll basically chase even other animals. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Look who's coming to drink. An elephant. Look at that, guys. That's so cool. Coming to have, you can see that one is very excited. Oh, look at that. awesome. This is really, really lovely. It's always this, I guess this, more coming. There's actually like about 6 or 5 or even 4 elephant bulls that usually come, like, right about this time. So coming and hanging around here, it's always, a good thing. The other night, I think it's about one night back, we also had like, a female pixie leopard coming to have a drink. I can see one more as well, like, seems we're gonna have like a very beautiful afternoon, eh? Look at that, sliding finally, yeah! Yes, Vicky, definitely yes. So the one that you see, like not close to us, so on my right, our right, we call him limping, the most chilled elephant I know. So no one is really sure what happened with one of his left back foot, but it's quite short. So now it's more or less, about a good time for most of the animal coming to have a drink. So they've spent their whole day, like wandering the bush, feeding. Yeah, now it's just, coming to have, a nice drink and carry on with feeding. Jordan elephant have an amazing eyesight, very, very good eyesight, and a good sense of smell as well. Oh, look how that water is dribbling there as well. You can see this elephant was very thirsty, like, I'm sure they couldn't wait to come and have. Ah, look at that. That's beautiful. Maybe something was wrong with the water, or it's just playing around, like, There's 2 more missing here. Normal, these 4 early bulls, we normally find them like, in 6, but I'm not surprised if there's like few that are missing. We just had one before the sun went down. Look at that one playing with the trunk, like, it's actually basically cleaning around where it's drinking. Elephant also, like, they're very picky or choosy with what they eat and also how they drink water. So the water must be clean. Oh, look at that. Okay, we're just gonna stick around here and, like, see if the 2 more Ellis come and join, and yeah, having a beautiful day.
We are just exploring around Gallagher Pan. And Theo just said to me, why is there nothing ever at that pan? And he has a point. This year for Gallagher Pan has been very, very disappointing. I have not had the sightings at Gallagher Pan this year that I've had in previous years. And I wonder if it's something to do with, water just being available everywhere. Treehouse Dam is still full. twin dams, Buffelshoek Dam. And if you don't know the dams of Djuma, well, they're also full. So I wonder if Galago Pan, which is a small man-made pump pan, is just not doing the job for the animals and they would rather drink elsewhere. But you're right, Theo. It's very disappointing. We really don't see animals at Galago Pan like we used to. Now, I've heard reports Tingana is coming back towards Djuma. Tingana. I'll say no more. But I don't think we'll make it. We're quite far away and he's apparently not going to... Oh, everyone's saying last minute leopard, please. Can I have a time check, Kirsten? Or Theo? 15 minutes. We could try. Oh. But he's not actually on Djuma right now. He's heading towards Djuma. And of course, my relationship with Tingana, well, that is something else. So I think I can try, that's for sure. I'll try, which means I need to put the foot down on that pedal. And Ferrari Safari on the bumpiest roads. Are you ready, Theo? I think he's shaking his head, which means no. Apparently there was some impala calling near the dam camp, but we checked it out and there was no alarm calls. There was a huge herd, breeding herd of impala, and there was lots of males snorting at one another, wrestling with their horns, being very boisterous. So I think that's maybe what you picked up on the dam cam. But there was definitely no impalas alarming, sadly. Alarming impalas can only mean one thing. Okay, I'm really not sure we're going to make it, but we're going to try.
Beautiful, beautiful scene again. So you can see these boys just had their drink, and now it's just a matter of like carrying on, heading just like up here at the on top of the crest where it's a little bit warm. Yeah. We might have visitors at night around camp. So these guys likes as well, like just feeding around, like, you know, our camp area. There's this incredible connection that we have with them, that they just like come and like, you know, be in our space, like feeding and just doing their thing, and like not even like caring about what we're doing. Just look at Limpy's walking straight towards our camp. Deba, I'm not really sure here, but yeah, it's actually quite tricky. It's a tricky one, but like just looking on how he's able to walk, like for me, I've seen him like, you know, on the other side of the property at Boston side. So I would say like it's the chances, I would say 50% of the chance maybe you'll be able to mate, but knowing how these animals will go around like, you know, mating, it's quite a hard one. But yeah, you never know, hey, you never know. So perhaps, in my opinion, I think he won't like be able to mate because that injury, it looks quite bad, and yeah, it's a tough one, eh? But I guess it's something that I also have to go back and check if I can find some answers to. But this is not a normal case with elephant. He's a very, very chilled boy, eh? Very, very chilled boy. Can see now just like feeding on that roots just after a drink. Yeah, it's one of the sad moments to watch the giant of African bush like struggling. But I guess it's part of nature. We're not really, I'm not like, I don't really know, I don't know what happened to him, or neither my colleagues, because we've been observing this elephant, like, it's been like, a long now, and we're not really coming with answers as to what could have like happened to him. But what I like is that each day we're seeing him like he's stronger, and like, he plays with other elephant. He do everything normal like other elephant.
Jumbo Jumbo, welcome back to the Mara. And here I have giraffes almost at dusk. And looks like they're still very busy, eating away and browsing at very low brushes. You can see that. At the same time, the two to the left are really watching onto something across that side. I don't know what it is, but yeah, it looks like it's looking at something to the left. The rest are busy munching away. I think everything is cool. They just have to be careful they don't get stalked. But if they're in a beautiful area full of little shrubs for them to feed on, don't you worry. The color we're using infrared because it's almost dark here. There is one that's very far away, and I think he's an outcast. Maybe he's been chased off because he's a male by the big male. All right, I'm gonna continue on. Hopefully, we'll find something else for you.
So it's Lalamba, eh? Hello everybody, welcome. We found ourselves a leopard in the tree. Please, let's try to check who this is. I think it's Tandy. Does look like Tandy. She just come down the tree. I don't know what she was doing in the tree, but I win the prize today, BK, for spotting the leopard in the tree. The radio has been, let's just move up here, Beaks. The radio has been going crazy this afternoon with Tingana in the north. Okay, we're going to find the leopard. Okay, everybody, let's have a look at the face now. It's not Tandy. No, I think it is. Got Tandy's ears. Sorry about the game drive. It is Tandy, everybody. She was obviously sleeping in the tree all day because she got down the tree looking very uncomfortable, a bit stiff. And, well, that's how it goes, everybody. We've moved on with good vibes this afternoon, and we found our own leopard. And she was in the tree just before you came to us, and obviously she decided to just come down. And if you move forward... Sorry about my game drive radio. There's Tandy. How awesome. Hello, beautiful. Well, we'll take that. Sorry about the gremlins there, everybody. She's looking She's looking quite, well, she's always looking hungry. Oh yeah, if you weren't sure before, everybody, that is Thandi through and through. Hello, girl. She's looking a bit better. She came down the tree. I thought she was maybe in a bit of pain, but I think maybe she's just been sitting on her bottom for some time. Aren't we blessed? Aren't we blessed? It's such a nice feeling. I stopped the car and I was like, oh, BK, look there. Such a nice feeling when you spot a leopard. Can't explain it to you all.
Go ahead.
Yes.
Yeah, Tingana's heading straight towards your drinking hole right in front of your camp. I don't know where you guys are now.
Okay, sorry about the game drive radio. Just keeping it open in case anybody wants to join us.
We are actually just finishing.
Was she spotted?
The top of the runway. We'll probably head back to camp then.
She's moving very slowly. She might have heard something there.
Great, thanks so much. We're going to head your way now. We're not far.
Yes, it does look like she needs a meal, everybody. After the rain, she's going to be reclaiming territory. You saw her just do a bit of spraying there. Let's move our beaks before we lose her. She's got a canny ability, everybody. Turn a corner and be gone. She's providing food for her boy. Okay, let's try to keep up with her and catch her through the thickets.
Well done, Steve. The Queen is on Juma. I hope to catch up with her. We decided against racing for Tingana. He's far too far, and we're not going to make it. He's not yet crossed into Juma, but it leaves good prospects for the morning. Imagine having the Queen and the Duke together on Juma at the one time. That would be something. Now, I'm still just circling the area just in case there was an impala alarm call, but I really don't think there was. I haven't seen a single track or heard an alarm call. But sometimes, well, this is a time when the leopards get moving. Any predators get moving, really. Oh, we can have Kalamba on the reserve too, and then we'll have the entire royal lineage. Wouldn't that be something? Many of you are crossing your fingers and toes and thumbs and eyes in hope that all the royal leopards are here tomorrow. Me too. I shall cross my fingers too and bumble on into the sunset.
Welcome back, everybody. And Thandi, the Queen of Juma, is today's last-minute leopard. She's trying to ferret out something. See, she's trying to smell it now. She heard something before. She came up here. Now she's trying to smell it. There's a very unhappy unhappy Franklin nearby. Where is your boy? Where is your boy? I haven't seen him in ages. It's a perfect time of day for these cats to be moving. Just move up one more time. Just got her going back down to the river. She likes to do that. She likes to walk into the underbrush either side of the river, and then she likes to walk back in again. This is the perfect habitat. There she is, Beeks. It's a perfect habitat for Dacre. Impala will move through here as well. There's lots of scrub here and Franklin hidden in the undergrowth. Also bushbuck. And there she goes. So everybody, we're not going to crash in after. We're going to leave her to do her thing. It has been a wonderful afternoon. I hope you've enjoyed it. We've ended with the Queen of Djuma, but you've had wonderful sightings. Baby cheetahs, hyenas swimming, all sorts of wonderful magic from the African wilds. And we look forward to seeing you again tomorrow morning, same time, same place. Have a good night until then. Good day and goodbye.
This program features live coverage of an African safari and may include animal kills and carcasses. Viewer discretion is advised.
A gorgeous giraffe walking through the plains, or a small open area rather